All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So lately, we've been talking a lot about the strict curl. Larry Wheels has brought up a lot of conversation around this. Now everybody is kind of going on this strict curl movement. I've done a lot of videos on the strict curl, but what I want to talk about in this video is curls that weren't done strict. What were just the heaviest curls of all time? Now this is the stuff that legends are made of. This is where the really crazy numbers come into play and the really crazy stories come into play. You've got some of the lesser known strength athletes like Kyriakos Grizzly. Here's a guy a lot of you might not have heard of, but also here's a video of him curling, obviously not strictly, 130 kgs for 10 reps. 130 kgs is 286.6 pounds. The strict curl world record is 249 pounds, obviously, for one rep. So this is almost 40 pounds heavier than the world record and for 9 reps more. Now, obviously, like I said, this is not strict. And he also has a video curling 140 kilograms for 5 reps. And 140 kgs is 308.6 pounds. So that is roughly 60 pounds heavier than the current world record for 5 reps. So this Grizzly, he's earning his nickname here. Now, a man like the Grizzly might be a little bit of a more obscure strength athlete. So we got to talk about someone like Magnus Samuelson, who was once dubbed as having the world's strongest arms. Now, Magnus is primarily known for his career as a strongman competitor and most notably his win of the 1998 World's Strongest Man competition. But in addition to that, Magnus was known for his feats of strength, specifically done with his arms, most notably of which was a 140 kilogram bicep curl for 4 reps, roughly 308 pounds for 4 reps, and he made it look extremely easy. Now, he's been quoted as saying in interviews that 100 kilogram curls for him, it's a lot of weight, but it doesn't feel heavy to him. He does that like as a regular exercise, 100 kilograms. And 100 kilograms is roughly 220 pounds. At the time, the strict curl world record was 225 pounds, set by C.T. Fletcher back in the 90s, I believe it was. Now, of course, while what Magnus was doing was not strict, it is certainly something that is worthy of note in a video about the heaviest curls of all time and the strongest biceps of all time. He did, in fact, have the title World's Strongest Arms. And if we're talking about strongmen and these notorious curls, you can't talk about that without specifically talking about Bill Kazmaier. Bill Kazmaier, 3-time World's Strongest Man champion. But also, Bill is credited on many strength websites and strength history archives as holding the world's heaviest barbell curl, obviously not done strict, of 440 pounds. Now, this is a statistic that is available on several different websites and several different archives where Bill is credited with this curl. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, of course, there's no photos or videos to back up this 440-pound curl, which seems to be a nearly impossible number to even come close to. But as the story goes, this curling feat took place at Buddy Duke's powerlifting meet, somewhere between 1985 and 1986, supposedly in the audience. There's a total of 500 people there, 500 witnesses to this curl. There was a bet proposed by Richard Sandlin that he could press behind the neck his own body weight, 225 pounds, for more reps than Kaz could power curl with his own body weight, which happened to be 315. Keep in mind, this is spur of the moment, and this is 1986, roughly 1986. So as the legend goes, Sandlin got things started. He did 225 pounds behind the neck for a total of 13 reps. And then Kaz came up and followed with 315 for 15, which is his body weight, 365 for 2, 400 for 1. And then his final rep, supposedly, according to the legend, was 440 pounds. Unstrict, probably a completely sloppy form. But very interesting story nonetheless. That's how the legend goes. So I'll leave that one up to you guys whether or not you want to believe that story. But supposedly, that's the record for the all-time non-strict bicep curls, 440 pounds, done by Bill Kazmaier, reportedly. And look, to be honest, it's not that unrealistic. The current strict curl world record holder, Denis Cyplenkov, his best curl that wasn't done strict is 170 kilograms, and 170 kilograms, about 375 pounds. So that's close to a 400-pound curl. So it's not something that's impossible, even though it's a number that sounds relatively impossible. It could be done with pretty ugly form and a guy the size of Bill Kazmaier. And then, of course, one of Denis's biggest arm wrestlers, Saganashvi, I'm sure I probably just screwed up that name, he has some videos as well, curling 140 kilograms for a few reps, 140 kilograms, roughly 308 pounds. So this 140 kg number, several different people have been able to curl this for reps, and that's 300 plus pounds. Again, not done strict. Now, to put that into perspective, my best cheek curl at weighing about 180 pounds body weight was about 170 pounds. Now, it's super ugly. You can see it in this video right here. So 170 pound strict curl, terrible form, but pretty close to a body weight strict curl. And I think that's about 77 kilograms. So that's about half of what these guys are maxing out. The best curlers in the world are maxing out around 308. I was maxing out around 170. Now, we've talked about strongmen. We've talked about arm wrestlers. What about Arnold Schwarzenegger? Arnold Schwarzenegger was known for the insane size of his biceps. And another thing he was known for was his heavy curls. He did have some insane curls that he claimed. Now, at his peak, he claimed that his heaviest cheek curl ever was a 275-pound cheek curl, saying that this was back when competitors would often have weightlifting demonstrations in addition to their guest posing. So back then, the bodybuilder was kind of viewed as a well-rounded, just strongman. You know, some people didn't even know what bodybuilding was or a bodybuilding competition was. So when someone like Arnold would go, you know, to a mall or whatever and do a guest posing, they would also lift some weights and do like a fun little demonstration. And Arnold claimed that the most he ever did was at a demonstration just like that, and it was 275 pounds. Now, back then, it wasn't very uncommon for Mr. Olympia winners to be able to cheek curl 225 pounds plus, but it's an easy way to tear a bicep, and Arnold didn't want to tear a bicep, so he probably wasn't doing anything like that very often. So why so much attention on the bicep curl all of a sudden? Well, I think strict curl is making a resurgence, especially, you know, the strict curl world record was set back in 2016 by Denis Cyplenkov, and prior to that it was C.T. Fletcher, and C.T.'s record stood for like 20, 30 years. Dennis's record a lot of people thought would stand for a long time, but now you've got these young up-and-comers. Larry Wheels, strict curling 200 plus pounds on basically his first attempt ever. It's kind of unheard of. You've got other young up-and-comers like this guy here, Leonidas Arcana, who recently strict curled 91 kgs in competition. This is competition verified, which is a 200-pound strict curl within 50 pounds of the world record. James Harrison, former NFL player, coming in very close striking distance to this world record, having never competed before in powerlifting, specifically the strict curl. He posted initially kind of a lighthearted video in response to Larry Wheels' strict curl, but then he followed it up like a day or two later, improving upon that by what looks to be 10 pounds, and probably roughly a 210-pound strict curl by James Harrison. And this is a guy who's not even a powerlifter. He's a former NFL player. So you've got these guys coming very, very close to the world record. And I think these big famous guys like football players and Larry Wheels, they're bringing attention to the sport of strict curl. I think it's going to bring a lot of guys out of the woodwork who have never tried it before. And they're going to push this record. And I think they're going to push it very, very soon. So the 200-plus pound strict curl territory, which before was extremely rare, that was an extremely exclusive club, and now people are coming out of nowhere and hitting 200-plus pound strict curls. And then you've got the fact the defending champion, Denis Cyplenkov, even though he's had some major health setbacks, and he downsized a lot and he lost a lot of strength, he's working on making his comeback, and he's getting stronger. And he recently posted a video just a day ago on Instagram practicing some seated curls, which is a commonly used training technique to train for the strict curl, and doing these seated curls with 105 kilograms for reps, which is about 231 pounds, within 20 pounds of his world record. So Dennis might be making a comeback at his own world record, and he might be able to defend it. So we might have some kind of giant strict curl meet in the near future where we see all these young guys battle, and maybe Dennis try to defend his title, and we could have something pretty exciting going on here. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and you want to see more videos just like this. And please subscribe to this channel. I've got all kinds of videos just like this one. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.